Hi, my name is Mika Oba. I am making this video for World Mental Health Day. Today I received an email from Take This, which is a nonprofit organization which aims to um, erase the stigma of mental health and to provide services to people through their AFK rooms at different conferences. At their AFK rooms, they have mental health professionals available for those who need it, and it's also just a safe, quiet space to go to when you need time to yourself. And they asked volunteers to participate in this day by sharing with social media a sign that says, "I am not alone," or any other way to express your solidarity toward the initiative. But I decided I want to make a video since this is something that I've wanted to do for a long time. I want to help reduce the stigma for mental health because I am someone who has mental health problems. I've been diagnosed with bipolar 2 disorder. Sometimes the therapist or my psychiatrist will go back and forth on the diagnosis, but very truly, I've been severely depressed for many, 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 many years. I don't know if you would have guessed that I've tried to kill myself more times than I like to admit. I've actually lost count. And one time was almost successful. And the only reason why I'm still alive and here today was because of pure coincidence of my roommate walking in on me because I forgot to lock the door. After all the progress I've made this year, when I think about how I really was so close in ending my life that night, it saddens me. And it took me a long time to find help for several reasons. First of all, mental health care in this country, in America, is a little bit of a joke. I have no idea how it is in other parts of the world, but I struggled for a long time to find help when I graduated from college. I was fortunate enough that my university offered mental health care services for free. So once or twice a week, I would go see an on-campus counselor or therapist just to keep myself in check. But I was very discouraged when I graduated in 2012 because either all the doctors I reached out to wouldn't call me back, or they didn't accept my insurance. Maybe my insurance was shitty. Or even with insurance, I couldn't afford to go see them. So in 2014, I finally had the opportunity to go see a doctor, and that's when I got diagnosed. And he wanted me to go find a therapist to see if he or she agreed with his diagnosis. And things kind of stopped from there. because I couldn't find anyone. Um, I called so many doctors, and same thing happened. No one either called me back or didn't accept my insurance, or I couldn't afford them even with my insurance. So I didn't have any help. For a long time. But this year was definitely a year of healing for me. I finally found a psychiatrist and a therapist. And seeing them has changed my life. I went through behavioral therapy to try to learn how to gain control over my emotions, and I'm still going through that therapy, that training. And I started taking medication, Seroquel. It's my bipolar medication. And what this emotional training and the medication does is that it helps stabilize my mood. So when I was diagnosed with bipolar 2 disorder, it kind of made sense to my husband and me, because I would have very frequent mood swings. When you have bipolar 2 disorder, you have episodes of hypomania, and during those episodes, you have these rushing thoughts. All of a sudden, a lot of times you feel super creative and motivated to do everything and anything, and you just go ham, but it's hard to have control over your thoughts, and sometimes my heart would race and I wouldn't even be able to capture my thoughts. I think thanks to my hypomania, it's what got me to start a lot of projects, but then it was the lows that didn't let me finish a lot of my projects. During the lows, I got bored, complacent, depressed, lost all passion for everything that I started when I was hypomanic. I didn't want to do anything, and a lot of times I wanted to disappear. I used to cry in my room by myself all the time when I used to live with friends in college, or when I used to live with a family for a year after college, and then with some friends in a house. Most of the time, I don't think they knew what was going on. And I always told them I was studying or working on a project, but a lot of those times I was just behind closed doors, crying, not trying to hurt myself. When I was 14, I think that's when I started cutting. I had a razor blade, and I used to cut up my thigh a lot. I was dealing with a lot of bullying at the time. And also dealing with just a lot of different relationship problems with family and friends. And cutting felt so good compared to the emotional pain that I was going through. It felt like I was numbing it. But
when my parents when they saw my thigh and I saw their face, I vowed to never hurt myself again. And since then I haven't hurt myself. And I'm very proud of that. But it doesn't mean that I haven't had close calls. Sometimes my husband needs to hide all the knives or anything sharp around me when I have urges to cut myself or anyways. I've been stable for a few weeks now, since August, and it feels so strange to be stable and happy. I've just been so used to feeling miserable and sad for most of my life that feeling like I have control over my emotions and that I'm not having racing thoughts, I'm not having highs, I'm not having lows. It's so weird to me. And I'm still getting used to it. And when you look at a person, you know, you only know so much. I wish people would be kinder to each other and be more empathetic, because you have no idea what someone's going through. You know, I used to be so embarrassed and so ashamed to tell people that I was like this, but it's more common than you think. And I'm tired of hearing my friends who want to find help but are embarrassed to, so they don't do it. And I'm tired of hearing people call those with mental health issues crazy. I'd like to not think of myself as crazy. I just needed help. And this year, I'm so happy to have finally found it. It's turned my life around. And I think that there's nothing to be ashamed of. You're worth it. Surround yourself with people who love you. And be vocal about your needs. And be kind to one another. So last but not least, just, I'm not alone, but you're not alone either. You got this. We both do.